It's the most wonderful time of the year. And no, this is not being uploaded at the wrong time of the year because I'm not referring to Christmas. I am referring to summertime. It's summertime here in the Midwest, and this is when we are living our best lives. And I want to give you a podcast episode on how to live in a very healthy, well-rounded way this summer that helps you align to your health goals and stick to them in a way that you're not feeling deprived when your family's going out for ice cream or you are at a gathering and it's potluck and there's some yummy and delicious foods. And whether this is the time of the year where your spark is shining or you are hunkered down because it is way too hot where you live, I hope that this episode still serves you well in a way, because these principles, these foundations can be applied to when the holidays start to happen. And then there's the new year and the dead of winter. And these are just really great foundational tips for you. So let's roll into today's episode. Welcome to Living in Sync. This is a wellness and lifestyle podcast for ladies in their 30s. We've got a lot going on, and on this show, we're going to talk about it all. I'm your host, Joelle. If you're into health, wellness, fitness, beauty, fashion, business, career, time management hacks, organization, girl chats, goal setting, mom things, and everything in between, I hope this show supports you in whatever you need today. Let's dig into today's episode. Okay, what we are going to kick off talking about is really important and high priority for me, because ladies, we're in our 30s now. We need to start caring less about what our body looks like aesthetically and start really leaning in to the feeling and longevity and mobility and feeling strong and fit for other reasons other than what our abs are going to look like in a bikini. So I do not care if you are starting your health and fitness journey, if you know you want to start your health and fitness journey, if you're in the middle of it, or if you are like, I've never looked better, because I'm looking at a lot of ladies on social media right now. Like, I'm done following the 20-something-year-olds that have never housed a human in their stomachs before. And I'm looking at the ladies who are in their 40s and their 50s, and they are fit and thriving. And I'm looking to them at inspiration, because it's actually quite interesting. A lot of them do share pictures from their 30s after having kids. And, you know, it's just so inspiring to be like, they've continued to take care of themselves and fuel themselves and have a better relationship with their body. So I do not care if you are starting your journey or you're in the middle of your journey, or if you have the most banging bod you've ever had in your life. No matter what your body looks like this summer, you're not going to let it stop you from enjoying the fun and making the memories and getting in the pictures and getting in the pool and doing the activities. You guys, last summer, I tried wake surfing for the first time. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to like the pictures of myself doing it, because stomach and arms and double chin and all jiggly thighs and all of that. But you know what? I felt so proud and empowered, because there have been times in the last 4 years, I haven't struggled with weight all my life. I really have only struggled with it for the past 5 years. And last summer, I was like, I'm done with this. I'm going to live my life. I got on the boat. I tried wake surfing, and I felt so strong and proud of myself. And when I was postpartum with my second born, I bought my first ever one-piece bathing suit, because he was born in July. And after that, I was like, I still want to enjoy summer. I had a almost 2-year-old that loved the water. And I bought a one-piece bathing suit. I bought a little pair of black shorts to wear along with it. And I still enjoyed the summer. And I remember at the time, I felt so insecure and uncomfortable. But I was looking back on pictures from that time, and I'm like, I am so glad we captured that. And why is it sometimes we have a lens of body dysmorphia when we're looking at a picture of ourselves in the today. Like I even did this last night when I was looking at the pictures of myself and my preschooler at his preschool graduation and criticizing myself. And I'm like, Joelle, in 5 years, you're going to be like, I am so glad we got that picture. Look at us. Look at us. I'm not going to be so critical of it later on 5 years from now. And so here is your declaration. And I want you to say it with me. I'm getting in the pictures. I'm getting in the pool. I'm getting in the shorts. I'm going to wear the swimsuit. I'm going to find, if it makes you feel comfortable to wear, a tank top swimsuit with shorts, like you make the memories, and your body is the least important. It's not the least important thing about you, but it's the least interesting thing about you. And nobody else cares. And if they do care, that's on them and they're a terrible person and they need to go F off, because you go live your vibrant, most best life. And so that leads into me talking about giving yourself a little outfit refresh. Get some new items. Don't try to keep fitting into the shorts that once fit in 2019, because guess what? What's also going to elevate your feeling, your vibe, and your look is updating your wardrobe. No matter what size you are, and the way they cut clothes today is different than how they were cutting clothes 5-10 years ago. So even though you might be thinking, oh, I'm getting this same pair of jean shorts look, you're not. Go get a pair of jean shorts that you feel great in, a pair of shorts that are maybe kind of like that tailored or linen type of shorts. Get at least 2 pairs of shorts for yourself and rock them this summer. Get some fun tank tops or t-shirts. Just invest in a few pieces. I absolutely love the athletic dresses. There are these buttery soft athletic dresses that I have had for years now, and every year I'm so excited to wear them. Sometimes on the really hot days, I'm just wearing them with sandals and the athletic dress because it has a sports bra and shorts. You guys, sports bra and shorts. You just slip on the dress and that's literally quite all you need to wear. And then sometimes I wear a button up over it or a denim jacket over it. Get a couple cute graphic tees. Just invest in a few, and not even huge investments. Just get a few things for yourself. I was all about buying the Old Navy shorts. On my weight loss journey, Old Navy shorts, it was actually fun for me to get the size that I was, and then over time, as I was losing the weight, have them feel looser and looser and looser, right? Because I hear this and see this even inside of Jamie Baker's Style Society, where women are like, well, I'm going to be going on a weight loss journey, so what should I do about getting new clothes for the season? And I'm like, do you know that going on a genuine weight loss journey does take time? And especially in the first 6 months of your consistent weight loss journey, you're not gonna completely not fit into your wardrobe. Your clothes are just gonna fit a little bit looser. Not that I was gonna say your clothes are gonna fit a little bit better, but I don't even like that word. They're gonna fit you better. They're just gonna fit you a little bit differently, and that's a-okay, because even with each season, it's if you continue to wear the old styles, you're gonna date yourself. People are gonna know, right? Update the skinny jeans, update the shorts, update your wardrobe a little bit by a little bit. You are worth it too. I know some moms have a hard time spending money on themselves. You'll buy your children 8 swimsuits for the summer, but it pains you to buy one new one for yourself because your body isn't perfect. Enough of that. Get something you feel comfortable and confident to, okay? The next thing I want to talk about in strategizing and having a fit and strong summer while enjoying all of the special moments is making sure you are just getting in activity. Your workouts, quote unquote workouts, can look entirely different. Maybe it's starting to utilize getting a walk in the morning. If you are living somewhere where it's super, super hot or where it's cold majority of the time in the year, taking the time of the days where it's early morning or later evening when it's starting to cool down, or it's just it's usually dark at this time of the year, and getting outside. Walking is so great for strength goals, for weight loss goals, for mobility and longevity. Like walking is so great for anything and everything all of the time. So, meet up with a friend and go for a walk, or spend time with your kids at the park, go on bike rides, do various things like that more in the summer. The next thing is make a bucket list of what it is you and your family want to do together for the summer to make memories, or write out some goals. We actually did this on a chalkboard that sits on the wall in our entryway, and I wrote out a list of things that the kids will need for their day camp type of situation. My oldest is very type A. He's also very helpful in remembering things. And so I put that list up there for both him and I to visually see before we walk out the door. Like, do we have everything? But next to it is our goals. And I set a goal of running a 10K this summer. Like, I want to start running, and I'm not running for weight loss. This is actually reframing from working out for my body to change, working out for a purpose and longevity, because my 5-year-old says, let's play tag. And really his version of tag is he just wants us to chase him around and around and around. And then he wants to take us and chase us around and around and around. And I'm strong. I've got good flexibility. I've got good mobility, but my running is horrendous. Like, my running has gotten so bad. And now I'm like, I'm going to start running because I want to chase him around. I want to not get out of breath. And so when I wrote down the goal of running a 10K, and I told my husband, I told my kids, and then when we went outside to play and my son said, chase me, I was like, well, here goes session 1 of training for my 10K. And I jogged around and tagged him, and he tagged me, and we went and back and forth and played tag for a little bit until I was too tired. And guess what? He still wanted to play more. And I'm like, this is why I want to become a runner. Like, this is why I'm going to focus on my running for right now. And then my son set a couple goals, or both my boys set a goal, and we talked about that. And then we made a bucket list, and it was everything from a concert that my husband and I are going to having an ice cream date as a family, going to a zoo, pontoon days, the things that we already know we will be doing. And that way we can just make sure we're hitting the mark of making memories for the summer. And I think it's also a really good visual for kids of like, we do get to do a lot of fun things. Like, we really do. And sometimes when we're in the midst in the day-to-day, not just the kids, but we as adults forget that in the mundane, it can be like, we don't get to do anything fun, right? And that's not true. Because as we do these things that are on our summer bucket list, we're going to cross them off. The next tip for your fit and strong summer while enjoying the special moments is stock your fridge with all the freshness. Keep fruits and vegetables as your BFF this summer. Make some fun, really awesome dips. I love making a dip with Greek yogurt, salsa, some taco seasoning, and a little bit of hot sauce because I like it a little bit spicy. I keep that in the fridge. I dip my cucumbers, my carrot sticks, my bell peppers, and all of that in there. And I love it. There are a ton of dairy-free option. I see it when I go by Costco. There's lots of dairy-free fun dips that you can keep on hand for veggies and dip. Keep lots of fruits on hand because nothing hits like watermelon on a hot day, right? An ice cold like apple on a hot day. Have some refreshments. So get some maybe electrolyte powders or some of the pre-probiotic sodas. I love Poppy. I like Olipop. I like Element. I like all of those things just to add freshness and vibrancy to keeping hydrated, especially in the summertime. I find it's way easier for me to stay hydrated in the summer because it gets hot, you get thirsty, and you actually want to drink water and stay hydrated. So stock your fridge with all the freshness and all the veggies and have dips. And even when my kids are like, I'm hungry, I want a snack, the first thing I set out is some of my prepped, already sliced cucumbers and carrots and peppers, put a little ranch in a tiny cup for them. And like, that's what they start with. Alana Molstein, who has helped so many people lose weight in a positive way, has a mantra: water first, veggies most. I say water first, produce most. Like, water first, produce and protein most. Like, that is the mantra for nutrition in the summer. And it's going to taste so good and so fresh. It's also when like the flavors of the produce in the wintertime here, like, it's just not the same. It's just not the same. So take advantage of that freshness. Water, we talked about that. And then the next thing I have on here is delight in the delicious, pass on the meh. I'm specifically thinking of the strawberry jello pretzel salad that really only gets made around 4th of July or summertime holiday gatherings. When I see an actually Macro-Friendly Foods made a high protein version of this, which I really do want to try, and we're going to be getting a Ninja Creamy. Okay, where are my Ninja Creamy people at? Because sometimes in the hot days of the summer, I do not feel like cooking dinner. I don't feel like eating dinner. And I was kind of like, what if we just had, which the kids, I'll make them like a sandwich or fruit, vegetable type of thing. But like, what if we had protein ice cream for dinner? That'd be cool, huh? Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, delight in the delicious, pass on the meh. And so the strawberry jello pretzel salad, if you're not, is this a Midwest thing? I don't know. But I'm only in the vicinity of it 2 times a year. So if I'm at a potluck and that is there, I'm going to put it on my plate. But there are other things at that potluck where I'm just kind of like, meh, it's good. But like, I'm going to pass on those types of things. But I'm going to delight in what is delicious. An example of this would be like if somebody made burgers and the burger bun was kind of like meh, and some people might scoff at you and be like, oh, you're going to have your burger without the bun. It's like, yeah, and I am going to have way more room for this pretzel salad. Thank you. Like, yeah, that's my intentional choice. So that might just be a mantra that really helps you just be intentional about, gosh, like what is just going to be great. And you guys, I know I've referenced this podcast episode before, but I'm back to really tracking my food and looking at it from the standpoint of like, how much am I eating? What am I eating? And how am I feeling? And how is my body responding to that? And looking at it from a scientific standpoint. And even yesterday, my son made brownies. He wanted to take a box brownie mix and make it all by himself. So he followed the instructions. I very lightly assisted. And of course, he was like, Mom, try one of my brownies. And immediately my brain went to like, oh, gosh, well, if I have this brownie, then that puts me over of like, da-da-da-da-da. Nope, I put in one brownie and it entirely fit in my calorie goal and my protein goal. And I was fine, you guys. And every time I've done this with like tracking my macros, just as a tool, not that I'm saying I'm doing it for life. If I tell you I'm doing it, it's because I'm doing it. If I'm not really talking about it, assume that I'm not, because even people who track macros and teach tracking macros don't track their macros 365 days a year. So stop putting the pressure on yourself of like, well, if you don't do it perfectly 365 days a year, then you're not a macro tracker. You're not tracking your food or whatever, because even the professionals, they're not tracking every single day. They use it as a tool, not as a diet. Another side tangent. But this next tip is protein and produce. We kind of already talked about that. Like, we are prioritizing protein and produce this summer. If you are at a cookout, if you are thinking about what to make for dinner, if you are wanting to have a filling lunch, protein and produce. Make sure that those are the 2 things you are heavily focused on. And then the pretzel salad's not going to make you feel so yucky or whatever it is. For me, I don't know why I'm talking about this dang pretzel salad so much. But for summer, Focus on protein and produce. Don't say, I can't have this. I'm not going to have the bun. I'm not going to have carbs. Well, I talked about that dang bun. But like, if you have an abundance of protein and produce and then you just fill in the rest, it's going to be fine. It's going to be a-okay. And then this last one is prioritizing movement that matches your long-term goal. So we are ladies in our 30s now, you guys. We are thinking about longevity. We are thinking about being fit and healthy and strong to continue to play with our kids and be involved in their lives and take care of our grandkids someday if our kids have kids, or, go on walks and be on vacation and have activities when we're retired. Like, that is the deposits we are putting in now when it comes to our health and fitness goals. So I am seeing on social media, like, prioritize strength training, but the ladies who are not prioritizing cardio and also mobility and flexibility, like if you only focus on one thing, there's going to be lack in other areas. Trust me, I've been in the bodybuilder space where these people who have like the ideal healthy aesthetic, they can barely keep up with cardiovascular activities sometimes and have a hard time bending down to tie their shoes because they feel so stiff. And oftentimes there's tired and depletion and no hormone health going on. And then there's the flip side where it's like, cardio queens are wearing on their joints. And then someday it's like, oh, you talk to somebody who's ever been like a long-term marathoner, oh, double, triple knee replacement. Have a well-rounded approach to your fitness. I'm not going to say I'm going to start running 5 days a week. I'm still going to do my well-rounded strength training, stretch, cardio routine that I like to do because my lens is now on longevity, not abs. My lens is now thinking about like, oh, someday I'm going to have a grandchild that's 20 pounds, 25 pounds, 35 pounds. I want to lift that. I want to be able to lift that so I can lift them. Oh, yeah, now I have a 5-year-old that loves to run, but someday I'm going to have a 10-year-old that can throw a ball harder than he can today. I want to be able to throw the ball to him and catch and all of that stuff. And I was even thinking about that when I was doing one of the moves in 3-day split where she has us like, oh, I'm blanking on the name of it. It's not curtsy, Buddha. It was like a Buddha lunge with tricep kickback. And I literally was like hating the move. I was suffering through the move. And I thought to myself, well, this is kind of how you have to get down to tie your shoes. And so when I thought about it in that way and like get down to help a child tie their shoes and then have strong arm muscles to get back up, and I'm starting to set goals of doing push-ups on my toes again. That was another goal of mine where I'm like, I want to do 20 really good push-ups on my toes. Like I used to be able to crank out push-ups like crazy. Ever since I had kids, I've been dropping to my knees. Partially because my core is very weak and I just haven't challenged myself in that way. And so it's a goal of mine now. I could probably already do 20 push-ups on my toes, but they'd be pretty ugly. Maybe have to take a break, right? And now I see that push-up goal as that's going to help me be strong in my upper body. That's going to be great for my posture. When it comes to walking, I like when we're old and retiring someday, when it comes to how far you can walk in each decade of your life, that does show scientifically. There is a study that shows how long and how well your quality of life will be in the next decade. So walking is so great, so important. Ride a bike, do the things not for how your body's gonna change aesthetically, but for longevity. For longevity and for really great quality of life. And it's so hard. I get it. Like there are times where my belly is bloated and I'm like just feeling fluffy and gross. And I'm like, what's going to be the workout that helps me lose this fat the quickest? Like seriously, I cannot stand looking at my belly anymore. And it's so hard to put that lens back on But when I do, when that lens gets put back on of like, okay, I'm going to work on my cardio today because next time that kid says, Mom, chase me. Oh boy, he better get moving. And I'm going to be able to play with him longer without getting so drained and tired and winded so quickly. And when he's saying, lift me, like there was even a moment in the kitchen where I was holding his hands, he was jumping and I like lifted him and he like his arms were flexed, my arms were flexed. I'm like, if I didn't lift, I wouldn't be able to do this. And I see too, like, I just want to do the best. I am able-bodied right now. If you are also able-bodied right now, like that's a gift, because once that able-bodiedness gets taken away, people say, I wish I would have taken care of my body better. I wish I would have gone on longer walks. I wish I would have went on that bike ride. I wish I would have tried to run that race. I wish I would have gotten a trainer to see how strong I could get. And I'm just like, it's just a soapbox I've been on. And you're probably like, Joelle, you have said enough about this. I get it, but I really want you to get it. Because at the top of this episode, we talked about no matter what your body looks like, don't let it stop you from enjoying the fun. And I've been in both shoes where I said, F it, and I didn't let my body stop me from enjoying the fun and doing the thing. And then there have been other times where I haven't gotten pictures of me and my kids because I'm like, oh, I don't want to even see how I look. I don't want to see that reflection of what the picture is going to be. And enough, right? Or try to catch myself when I do that again, because not saying I won't ever do that again, but catch myself, correct myself, and live in a well-rounded, optimal way. Even, you guys, kind of embarrassing to admit, but when I was at preschool graduation and my husband took a picture of my son and I, which, why do husbands capture the literal worst faces and angles and pictures? And my husband took a picture and I was like, Sean, that looks awful. Like, how are you holding the phone? I don't get it. And I said, I look awful. And Jace goes, do I look awful? And I was like, bite my tongue. Why did I say that? I need to watch myself. So the soapbox was for you, and it was also for me. Thank you so much for listening today. As always, if this hit your heart, send me a DM on Instagram or share in a review what your favorite episodes are, so I know the ones that you like to listen to and I can make more of those. If you have a question, if you have insight, like shoot me a DM, my friend. I'm happy to talk to you. Come on over to Patreon and I will talk to you next time. Bye. Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you loved what you heard or you want to share your favorite episode topics, please leave a rating and review. This helps the podcast growth and gives people an idea of what the podcast is all about. Something new and exciting that I wanted to share with you before we go is that we now have a Patreon page. This has replaced the Feminine Edge collective community in a cohesive place that is easier for me to manage and cheaper for you. If you are interested in our monthly classes, exclusive day in the life vlogs, Bible studies, community Q&A, and more, go to patreon.com/livingInSync and join for just $5 a month. Check out the show notes for any links or details of things referenced in today's episode, and I look forward to chatting with you in the next one.